Good morning, family. It's your boy Hectendo back with another video. This video today, going back in memory lanes with the Sony PlayStation Portable. Now, this console handheld system was released way ahead of its time. Like, this thing right here is. The technology in this thing was just amazing. So I'm gonna talk about it today, review it, give my honest opinion, and tell you at the end if it's really worth it of having this PlayStation Portable around still. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is the PlayStation Portable, or short PSP. This was Sony's first time inside the handheld market, as Nintendo has been dominating the handheld market with its Game Boy sales, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and SP systems, and the new released at the time, the Nintendo DS. So this was Sony's answer to the handheld market by releasing their very own portable handheld gaming system. Now this model I have right here, this is not the original model, this is a much newer model. The original model is the PlayStation Fat, or PSP 1000. I will put a picture on the screen for you guys to see. Right, so when the PlayStation Portable released, the launch price was pretty expensive, which is why the Nintendo DS were a little bit much more popular. Many kids, teenagers had the Nintendo DS because it was a little bit cheaper than the PlayStation Portable. Anyways, the PSP launch price was $249. That's pretty high, as up to today's standards, you could get a Nintendo Switch Lite for $50 cheaper and with better technologies compared to this right here in my hand. So again, this is not the original model. I don't remember how much the 3000 excuse me, I don't really remember how much the 3000 model cost, but it is a little bit cheaper than the original 1000 Fat edition. And it also came with some few improvements, as in this PSP had an improved LCD screen. All the PSPs 1000, 2000, 3000 Go, or not the Go, Street, they all featured a 4.3-inch LCD display. But on the 3000 model, they improved the screen on this. Like, I think the colors are more vibrant, it's more brighter, and it's also the first PSP to have a built-in microphone, which is the microphone's right down here. I'm going to give you guys an overall buttons and ports layout of the console. But let's just talk about the specs real quick here. So, it's not heavy, it's lighter compared to the 1000, the original PSP. It's really heavy, but this is pretty light, the build, I guess, is more plastically, what I know about Sony is they like using this gloss finish, and it usually gets a bunch of fingerprint and scratch. Like, look at the back of this thing. I never seen a new PSP which doesn't have scratches like this. Like, it's really impossible to keep this thing free of scratches. I know if you have the white version of the PSP, the scratches are not visible unless you hold it in an angle, but the black one, you can see it's really visible all around the console. But yeah, this is like, it's plastic. The build on this is cheaper. I do get that because the cost is cheaper on this model, but the original one, the build was a little more, it felt a little more premium and bulkier and heavier. So the CPU, this one is clocked at the highest clock that is 333 megahertz, which is pretty slow, but it was good for its time. Like I said, it's a 4.3-inch display with a 16:9 aspect ratio. Has a TFT drive, You know, built-in stereo speakers. You know, you got the speakers right here. I remember when I was in school, I used to see people, you know, play music on this thing, and they'll hold it up here in the ears like it was a phone or something. I was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, is it a phone or some shit? But nah. I actually thought that this was actually the speaker, the analog stick. I really thought that that was the speaker because I just see them hold up in the ears, like, you know, like it's like a phone or something. It seems a little dusty in there. But yeah, you got stereo speakers. Wireless. Yes, it has built-in Wi-Fi. It's an old standard Wi-Fi. Most Wi-Fi's today, it won't work with this thing, but I don't really see the point of you even trying to attempt to go online this thing because most of the servers and stuff are down, discontinued. I don't even remember the last time I even went online on this PSP, because you know, there's no point. There's no point of doing that. You know, you got a high-speed USB 2.0, which is the port up here. This is a USB mini B. You know, you got mini, micro, but it's the mini one. You see this a lot in PlayStation, you know, PlayStation 2 era, PS3 eras, you know, so this is really familiar with you guys. I'm gonna go over what the contacts and these little holes are for. We'll go over that in a minute. Yeah, so you know, you got Memory Stick Pro Duo, which is the Sony's, I wouldn't say it's proprietary because Sony did use this throughout their industry, even the cameras and stuff like that. You know, like I said, it's plastic, you know, you got a little rubber thing. It's basically the memory card for the system. Without this, you're screwed because you can't save any games or anything without this memory card. Now this isn't the original memory card. This is just a adapter that I use because I put you know, I put downloaded games on this and save games on this. So usually Sony's proprietary stuff are usually expensive. So I believe the smallest memory card they had was 4 megabytes for the PSP. I'm not too sure. Do some research on that. But yeah, so this is just that micro SD adapter. So the way how this works is you put a micro SD card at the end. So you can see right here, it's a SanDisk 32 gig. I think that if you guys are going to plan on modding the system and you want to put games and stuff on this, I think 32 gigs is too little because I actually ran out of space. You know, because I don't have too much games, but you know, 32 gigs is not enough for this thing right here. So imagine Sony didn't had those type of sizes available at launch. So imagine trying to download all those games on this PSP. You wouldn't be able to play on a single game because, you know. So that's the memory card. You know, it goes in like this. It's a little eject. You know, you just push it down. Hear it click. Boom. You know, you got AC adapter. You know, figure out. All right. So lithium batteries. You know, got disc. Anyway, just go over the controls and stuff. So, you know, you got a Sony branding right there. We got a D-pad, directional pad, really soft to touch. I actually prefer this. This actually feels like the PS5, these D-pad, and the DualShock control D-pad. The one on the Vita, I don't really like the one on the Vita. You know, I just like this one better. You know, you got stereo speakers. We got an analog stick right here, you know. This was actually a little advantage of Nintendo's DS, as the DS only had a D-pad, while the PSP, it had an analog stick. You know, it's all right to the grip. You know, we got these grips right here. It's not rubber or anything, so it's not gonna rub off. And you know, it's comfortable to hold it and stuff. You can see here, that's how it looks from the side. It doesn't really protrude that much, so don't worry about that. You could fit in your pocket. It's not gonna get rubbed on or anything like that. We got a Memory Stick Pro Duo logo indicator and the internet indicator. You know, got a screen. We got a cross, circle, square, triangle buttons. We got our R, L buttons. We got the WAN switch on. Turn it off because what I said. USB. Now these little things here and these contact pins right here, it is for the PlayStation camera. The PSP had a peripheral called the PlayStation camera, which you can take pictures with, and certain games utilizes that camera. I never had the chance to own it, and I was never interested in that product anyway. So you know, down here we got the PlayStation button, which is to go back home. Volume minus plus, got the microphone, the display. You press this once to change brightness. Blah, blah, blah. This is the mute button. If you hold down, you mute it. Select, start, power, LED, hold. It's not actually I don't know why they put this here, but this doesn't light up at all. You just, if you pull it down, you just see a little piece of this plastic through that light there. On the bottom here, we got our headphone jack, and this is a TV output. So this right here, again, peripheral from Sony, proprietary. It's a little adapter where it's connected, has this and this connected into one cable, and connect here, and you can play your PSP games on the TV. Again, I don't have that. Never had a chance to own it. Anyways, over here we got the serial number. You guys can look at that because this shit. I'm sorry. You guys can take a look at that because I don't really care anymore, because you can't do anything with a serial number anymore for this old console. And we got our DC in. This is how you charge the system. Side here again, you got the memory stick. Dual. It's a little dirty. Over here, power button, well, power switch. There's the battery compartment door button. Coming from the back, we got again Sony branding here, and we got the PSP, and we have UMD in the corner here. Now, UMD stands for Universal Media Disc. So, UMD was, again, Sony called it Universal, but UMD was only proprietary to Sony, to the PSP, so it wasn't universal at all. UMD disc consists of games for the PSP and movie disc games, and the discs are really, really small, smaller than the Nintendo GameCube's disc. So you know, the PSP, because the PSP had a display in it. Now here's another con with the PlayStation Portable that DS was a little bit better on, because DS games was cartridge based flash games. You know, you put the game in, it launches quickly. You know, there's not that much load screens and anything like that. The game loads quicker, but because of the PSP, it has to read the disc, and you know, disc based games, it takes longer to load and things like that. And certain games, like I think Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy games, and Tekken, I believe, allows you to install part of the game disc onto this memory card, so you can get increased load times. The disc store is really easy to open. You have this little groove, you just pop it really nice, and boom. See, there's a little dusty in there. This drive still works up to today. I always take care of my things. Usually people messes up the drive, the lens stop working, the door falls off, the doors loose. Like, I haven't seen someone put tape just to tape the door, because you know the door just doesn't stay closed. And I think that's because of the brackets. They usually are, because usually people, when I see people, they usually open it like so hard, and sometimes slam it so hard. Like, you know, you gotta be careful with these things. Like, this is delicate hardware right here, mechanical hardware. You cannot just open it and just slam it so hard. But yeah, that's the disc, the UMD disc. You put this inside, and the game plays. Another thing that PSP did improve on the slim models, the original one, was the disc. Usually it will make a lot of scrunchy noise and stuff like that, and you know, it was improved with this model. So anyways, that's enough talk about hardware and you know, button wise. Let's turn this baby on. So you just slide the power button, you get a green LED light. Sony Entertainment. Turn the light for you guys. Alright, don't worry about the time. The time is wrong. Alright, so this is the PlayStation Portable's main menu. This menu, I think, is one of the best gaming menus I ever used in lifetime of games. The PSP and the PlayStation 3 share the same menu screen. This is called the XMB menu or X Cross menu bar. Wait, I think it's called X menu bar, X Cross menu bar. Yeah. This menu is really easy to use, and I just like the layout of this thing. So use the D-pad. You can use the analog stick. Use the D-pad to choose what you want, and boom. So you got settings here. System update again. This is on the latest update. I believe it's 6.60. If you try to update it, it's going to tell you that it's the latest update. USB connection. You want to put games on this thing, or put music, pictures, movies, or things like that. Connect to the USB port on your computer, and you can finalize the USB connection. You got video settings. It's just UMD menu language, UMD volume, audio, subtitle, blah blah blah. Photo settings, system settings. You got nickname, Games PSP. That's me. That's English, blah, blah, Umd Autostart. Now, if you have a UMD game disc and you put it in the system and you turn on the system, it will automatically launch the game that's in the system instead of coming to the menu. I never usually utilize that feature, so I recommend just leave it off. UMD cache. So this menu, it's really recommended to have it on. You see, only the newer model PS3 PSPs has this feature. Like I said, the older models, they always depend on reading from the disk, so it slows down load time and stuff like that. With this cache, the console, it reduces the time it needs to read from the disk, so you get faster load times and less noise. Color spice, you can see here, set the wide, normal, leave it on wide. Wide is more vibrant. Again, you can see here, see more vivid. So this is a feature exclusively for the 3000. USB charge, if you want to charge your PSP while on computer with the USB port, you don't have that on. USB auto connect, you got battery information. You can see we're at 74% charge, 4 hours and 59 minutes left. Power source battery status in use. Let me see system information. You can see here again, system software is version 6.61. PSP, MAC address. Again, you can use this. You can hackers, whatever. I don't care because this is never going online. So you got themes. The themes I usually leave it. The default theme is original, and the color. No, sorry guys. Is it? I think. Yeah, the original theme is classic, and then the color is usually the white. I don't know why it says like that, but I changed it to original and color blue. Date and time settings. I don't really bother with date and time because when this dies, the time resets, which is why it's not really 2:30 a.m. It's 12:51. Power save settings. You can backlight, auto off, auto adjust, backlight off. Connect display. You can see here. Connect the AV cable again. Connect the AV cable here to play on the TV. TV type, aspect ratio. Your interlace, progressive, leave them progressive. You do use the cable. Sound, just basic stuff. Let me show you guys the network. So if you switch this on, you actually turn on the Wi-Fi on the system. And if you want to connect to a network wireless Wi-Fi, you use this setting right here. Now, the Wi-Fi antenna is really old, so if you try to connect it with newer technologies like Wi-Fi 6 with routers and stuff like that, it's not going to work. You can see here with a scan, and you can see here everything is not supported, except for this one. This is my current one. This is my router right here. You can see it's not supported. Can't click on it. So, alright, we got extras. We got the camera, like I was telling you guys. Put the camera on top. You can see here, connect the camera that is compatible with the PSP system. You got music. You put music on the memory card. You play your music, video, games, internet browser, and PlayStation Network. The internet browser. Now, another good advantage of this is the PSP came with internet capabilities right out the box. The DS at the time, it had a browser, but you had to buy the software separately, and it uses a game cartridge. And because the DS didn't have enough RAM, they released a peripheral, a RAM, a memory expansion for the DS to be able to run the internet browser. The PSP has a little bit more RAM, so it's capable for the internet browser. Now let's talk about games. So right here, if you put UMD disc in, you get a little menu here with the disc. You press it, launch the game, pretty much like the PSP. Memory stick. You can see here, like I said, only have 940 megabytes left. This is a 32 gig memory card, by the way. So you can see here, user capacity 29 gigs. Battery gate unknown. Anyways, so now you're probably wondering, I press it, there's no games, and what is this? Now this is actually the mod. Now you actually mod the console. If you mod your system, you can put any game on this thing. You can put emulators, PSP games, and things like that. Now, because I've hard shut down the PSP, all the games and that, basically the mod is gone. So in order for you to relaunch the mod with a computer, you're gonna launch this application called Pro C Fast Recovery. So you'll just launch it, hit the screen, and the PSP is gonna restart in jailbroke mode. Okay. And now if you press it, it'll go all the games. Now, if you hold the select button, bring up this menu. This is the Provish menu. Now this is where you could overclock your PSP. Now I'm on the highest, which is 333 megahertz. Now doing this, change it back to that. Now doing this will cause the PSP the battery to drain a little bit quicker because it's on the highest clock speed at all times. So just be mindful of that. So you get the recovery menu right here. You have type of USB, configuration, ISO mode, high MAC address, charge USB cables plugged in, just things here. You got advanced XP unplug-in, cheats, CPU speed, like I say, you leave it like that, blah, blah, blah. Let's get it out of here. The games, pretty easy to put games on this thing. You just create a folder on your PC or Mac, name the folder game, and just drag the ISO into that folder. So we got Tekken 6, we got Lego Batman, SpongeBob, Truth or Square, The Simpsons game, Clash of the Titans, Wild Nation Racers, Medieval Resurrection, The Warrior, Dragon Ball Z Tetsuya Tag Team, one of the best games on this thing. We got Daxter, we got Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, the State of Final Fantasy, and that. We have God of War, Sonic Rivals, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters, Power Stone, Parappa the Rapper, what's this? Metal Gear Solid, Crash Tag Team Racing, Loco Roco, Little Big Planet, Jack and Daxter, Gran Turismo, Ape Escape, and we got Secret Agent Clank. Me, I'm a Ratchet & Clank fan. I remember my friend used to have it, PS2. I didn't have a PS2 at the time, I had a GameCube, and he had all these great games for it. You got Daxter, Jack and Daxter, he had Ratchet & Clank, all of Sly Cooper. So this is just pretty good. Now the graphics, I think, as if it's aged well, I think it did age well. as long as you're not playing on the TV. Because I mean, it's a handheld console. You just play on the console. I mean, looking at graphics today, like, you know, Ratchet and Clank on PS5, and compared to this, you know, it's a big difference. But I mean, you're playing this on a handheld, so you know there'll be original graphics and things like that. Not like when you was playing a Wii or GameCube on a CRT TV and you're playing it on the modern TVs and it's all nasty looking. So yeah, as you can see here, it's Ratchet, Clank. One thing I like about this game is the helicopters. It takes a while for them to come down and it's really slow. But yeah, man, I just like playing this game. This game is also available on the PS2. Yeah, this game is just nice. Yeah, another thing is no analog stick, so it's no two analog sticks, so you have to use the triggers to move the camera. Pretty annoying, but at least they include one analog stick. So, you know, playing this on the PS2 is really much better. I haven't played this game in a while, so I really don't know where I'm going or what to do. I'm gonna have so this one's already leveled up. Okay, just click that. Oh, battery. Lost the battery already. Alright, so yeah, modding this thing, it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to mod this thing to get the games. Play some maybe Vice City Stories. It's portable. Really recommend, you know, pick up this PSP. You can get it online. I don't know how much, but it's probably pretty cheap. Just don't get a modded version of it because they will really try to rip you off. Just buy a regular one and you can just mod it yourself. It's pretty easy to do, like I said. Alright, so you know, just playing Grand Theft Auto on the go, like this is just crazy. This is just really insane right here. Like, I'm a soldier, go push me. I forgot how you move the camera. Let's jump. It's just weapons. I forgot how you move the camera. Okay, okay. So it's L and analog stick. Yeah, that's one thing, because there's no dual analog sticks, you gotta use a button and the analog stick to move around and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, PlayStation Portable, it's still good up to today, you know. You know, if you're on a, you know, if you're on a plane, you're on a road trip, it's probably if your Switch dies or something, you can just pick this up and, you know, play it. You know, it's pretty good. It's aged really well. Sorry. You know, good console, but it's way ahead of its time. Oops, can't drive. Shit. Oh shit, I was a cop. Yeah, this is just crazy. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto on the go. Alright. So take a look at that map. You know, this is pretty big for a portable system. Just look at that. Alright, so let's go back home. You know, pretty nice system. Came in many different colors. So guys, I think let's end this video in the next scene, and you know, let's end this video because this is a pretty long video. It's like, this is a really good console. So here's my break on it. Pick it up if you can. Don't buy a modded version of it because they do tend to go a little bit higher because, you know, the people do try to trick you into buying it. Oh, sorry guys, one last thing. Let me just turn it off first. Forgot to show you guys. If you hold it down, that's how your heart shut down. The battery. I'm another thing about this is a lot of people's battery though, they lose this piece of thing, or sometimes it gets stuck, like it falls off and they put tape there again. But anyway, this is the battery. Before you take a look at the battery, let's look at the insides right here. It says Sony PSP 3001, that's the model number. Wi-Fi certified. We got the battery pins right there. So yeah, take a look at the battery here. This isn't the original. This is not the original battery. The original battery, it will have the PSP embossed in it, and the milliamp on the original battery is a little bit smaller. And this is just a aftermarket battery, because the original one I had in this system, it was already, wasn't too well, wasn't holding enough charge. So this is just an aftermarket battery, and these aftermarket batteries do have more milliamps, so which holds more charges than the original one. So you can see here, we got a positive, negative pins up there. So this is from Instant battery pack, 3.6 volts, 1200 milliamp hours. And it says caution, only use specified charger, do not dispose of fire, do not disassemble, do not sort it. Now the charger for this thing. This is the PlayStation Portables. This is the PlayStation Portables 5-volt adapter. This is the original one. You can see here it says 1500 milliamp. Now the battery wasn't even that high, so for Sony to even ship this, I guess it's just for other manufacturers to release their own. And you can see here, this is a 12-volt milliamp, but this is 1500 milliamp, so it charges really fast. Now you got the Sony with the PlayStation logo right there, PSP. Look on the back. Sony AC adapter, PSP 380. At the end, it's the DC. It converts AC to DC. You can see here, positive, negative. You got a coil connects to the bottom, like right there, yellow against yellow. Just like that. Boom, boom, you charge it. At the end of it, you got this. This is pretty much Sony's universal. This is the only universal power AC cord that Sony uses. PS2s, PS1s, PS3s, PS4s, PS5s today. Even that's the PS Vita also uses the same thing too, I believe. I don't really remember. I haven't had my Vita in a while. I've got to find it. I'll wait to review on that as well. You just plug it in and it connects. Like I said, this adapter, it converts AC current into DC current for PlayStation Portable. So guys, let's end this video here because this is a really long video. Alright guys, once again, PlayStation Portable always be in my heart. As I grew up with this thing, I've seen a lot of people in schools bringing this in school. It was so popular at the time that many people was even stealing this from people. Like, you would get robbed for having a PlayStation Portable back in the days. Even though the Nintendo DS Lite was a little bit more popular than this, because it was cheaper, it had more third-party support. Mostly everyone had it, and especially around lunchtime at the tables, you play Mario Kart and shit like that. PlayStation Portable, on the other hand, it was just more a, I guess, a mature. This console is made for mature people. Like, it has more graphically intense games on this thing. There's more M-rated games. We got Grand Theft Auto for peak's sake. Sorry. So yeah, but to me, I think it's worth it because, like I said, you can mod it, you can hack it, you can install backups if you want. Just if you take good care of the idea of minds, it will last pretty much a long time. And again, one thing what I like about this model, the PlayStation Portable model, is because, like I said in the video, they're removable battery pack. So if the battery does get pretty old, the charge cycles finishes and stuff like that, you can replace that battery and it'll be good as new. Other than that, great console. Way ahead of its time. If Sony could make a newer handheld system, maybe to match the Nintendo Switch, maybe to go together with the PlayStation 5, you know, that would be good. But you know, it is what it is. But you know, this really is probably one of my favorite consoles. You know, to have it own. You know, like I said, go for the, if you're gonna buy a PlayStation Portable today, go for the 3000 model. The 1000 model, which is the PSP Fat, you know, that one has little limitations to that one. So, you know, I think the 3000 is the sweet spot, as it has a better LCD screen, more RAM, you know, overall just way better, you know. And, you know, I think this is probably the most common PSP you'll see online, you know, 3000 series. And, you know, do not buy it modded. Don't buy a hacked version of it, because they're just, you know, trying to make more money off of you. It's really easy to mod these things. Really easy to mod this thing. So don't buy a modded one online. Well, that being said, thank you guys again for watching this morning's video. Really appreciate you guys. You know, hit that subscribe button, hit a like, leave a comment, and you know, makes me help support the channel. It makes me bring out more content for you guys. And you know, other than that, that's pretty much it. So guys, thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.